It was now lunchtime, and they were all sitting under the double green fly of the dining tent, pretending that nothing had happened. "Will you have lime juice or lemon squash?" Macomber asked. "I'll have a gimlet," Robert Wilson told him. "I'll have a gimlet, too. I need something," Macomber's wife said. "I suppose it's the thing to do," Macomber agreed. "Tell him to make 3 The mess boy had started them already, lifting the bottles out of the canvas cooling bags that sweated wet in the wind that blew through the trees that shaded the tents. "What had I ought to give them?" Macomber asked. "You don't want to spoil them. A quid would be plenty," Wilson told him. "Will the headman distribute it?" "Absolutely." Francis Macomber had, half an hour before, been carried to his tent from the edge of the camp in triumph on the arms and shoulders of the cook, the personal boy, Skinner, and the porters. The gun-bearers had taken no part in the demonstration. When the native boys put him down at the door of his tent, he had shaken all their hands, received their congratulations, and then gone into the tent and sat on the bed until his wife came in. She did not speak to him when she came in, and he left the tent at once to wash his face and hands in the portable wash basin outside and go over to the dining tent to sit in a comfortable canvas chair in the breeze and the shade. "You've got your lion," Robert Wilson said to him, "and a damn fine one, too." Mrs. Macomber looked at Wilson quickly. She was an extremely handsome and well-kept woman of the beauty and social position which had, 5 years before, she had been married to Francis Macomber, commanded $5,000 as the price of endorsing with photographs a beauty product which she had never used for 11 years. His wife looked at him now. He is a good lion, isn't he?" Macomber said. He smiled at her now, and she looked away from his face at the way looked at both these men as though she had never seen them before. One, Wilson, the white hunter, she knew she had never truly seen before. He was about middle height, with sandy hair, a stubby mustache, a very red face, and extremely cold blue eyes with faint white wrinkles at the corners that grooved merrily. He smiled at her again, and not when he smiled. His shoulders sloped in the loose tunic he wore with the 4 big cartridges held in loops where the left breast pocket should have been. At his big brown hands, his old slacks, his very dirty boots, and back to his red face again, she noticed where the baked red of his face stopped in a white line that marked the circle left by his Stetson. He was dressed in the same sort of safari clothes that Wilson wore, except hat that hung now from one of the pegs of the tent pole. "Well, here's to the lion," Robert Wilson said. Smiling, she looked curiously at her husband. Francis Macomber was very tall, very well built, if you did not mind that length of... "I can't ever thank you for what you did." Bone dark, his hair cropped like an oarsman, rather thin-lipped, and was considered handsome. His were new. He was 35 years old, kept himself very fit, was good at court games, had a number of big game fishing records, and had just shown himself very publicly to be a coward. "Here's to the lion," he said. Margaret, his wife, looked away from him and back to Wilson. "Let's not talk about the lion," she said. Wilson looked over at her without smiling, and now she smiled at him. "It's been a very strange day," she said. "Hadn't you ought to put your hat on even under the canvas at noon?" "You told me that, you know." "I put it on," said Wilson. "You know you have a very red face, Mr. Wilson," she told him and smiled again. "Drink?" said Wilson. "I don't think so," she said. "Francis drinks a great deal, but his face is never red." "It's red today," Macomber tried a joke. "No," said Margaret. "It's mine that's red today. But Mr. Wilson's is always red." "Must be racial," said Wilson. "I say, you wouldn't like to drop my beauty as a topic, would you?" "I've just started on it. Let's chuck it," said Wilson. "Conversation is going to be so difficult," Margaret said. "Don't be silly, Margot," her husband said. "No difficulty," Wilson said. "Got a damn fine lion."